What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got a massive amount of Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 3 multiplayer information to talk about. Kind of crazy we can talk this much about multiplayer in April, which has never happened before in Call of Duty games, but as always, I'm going to be bringing you guys the latest information. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and also follow me on Twitter in the description for latest information. And also, if you enjoy the video, give it a like rating. So let's get into this information. Black Ops 3 firstly has been rumoured to only be on next-gen consoles, but this hasn't been confirmed just yet. At the time of making this video, Activision have not made any official announcement about what platforms it's available on. It is available as pre-order on next-gen consoles and PC, and although there are a lot of rumours that may seem convincing, like there's no mention about old generation consoles or any pre-orders, it's not available on Amazon, it's not available on the official website, and at this point we don't know anything more than just rumour and speculation at this point, so we're going to have to wait until the official announcement from Activision. Of course, any more info about that I'll update you guys. And another cool thing is that Black Ops 3 multiplayer will be playable at E3, which is crazy. We've never had COD multiplayer that's playable this early in June, so they're definitely changing things up this year, and so that's going to be very, very early that multiplayer is going to be playable, and we're going to get a lot of impressions from that, which is not that long away. E3 is in June every year, and we normally just get a single player mission that is walked through, but this time we're going to have multiplayer which is fully playable, which is pretty crazy. And a few months after that, we're going to get a public beta for people who pre-order the game. And if you don't know, the game is starting to appear on retailers like Amazon. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description for you guys to go over and see what Black Ops 3 looks like on Amazon. And there's a lot of cool information about the game and the beta that you can also read up on. And also, if you want access to beta, of course you have to pre-order that, so now is definitely the time. So let's talk about multiplayer. There's a lot to talk about with Black Ops 3, and of course I'll have regular videos going up on this channel, but in this video I'm going to focus on what I think are the two most important features of Black Ops 3, definitely the most notable, and that is movement and also specialist characters. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the movement, and the thrust jump is probably the most important thing you guys want to know about. Is it similar to the boost jump? Is there exosuits? Is there an exo jump? And basically, is there as much verticality as Advanced Warfare? And the answer to that is pretty much no. Not 100% no. We're not going back to complete traditional movement like the old COD, say Black Ops 2 for example, but we're not exactly going back to Advanced Warfare either. It's kind of like a mix in between, and the boost jump is less of a boost. It's less of a sudden boost. It's literally A to B, like you press A twice and you literally go from A to B very fast in one simple direction. And this is more of a kind of like, it was described as omnidirectional, so you can go in any direction, forwards, backwards, sideways, and you can literally do like any movement from this one thrust jump, and it's less of a sudden change than the boost jump was in Advanced Warfare. For example, if you're being shot at in Advanced Warfare and you wanted to get straight out of the way, you could literally just double tap or press on the stick and you could boost out of the way, and you could pretty much be away from the situation very quickly, whereas in this game it's not as easy. It's more of a slow and gradual boost, so essentially there isn't as much of a way to just boost out of the way and just completely throw people's accuracy off. And also the maps have been structured more like Black Ops 2, so they're a lot less vertical. I think that is the main problem people have with Advanced Warfare. The maps are too vertical, and it's definitely something they tried to push. Verticality was a very big word for Advanced Warfare, and they tried to make the maps as vertical as possible. Lots of like 3, even 4 story levels. A map like Perplex in DLC 2, that map was insane. But Black Ops 3 has been built ideally essentially the same as Black Ops 2 maps, where there's not really much place to jump. So you do have a boost jump, but the only places where it kind of benefit you is places where ladders used to be. So the kind of consensus of boost jumps in Advanced Warfare is that they're basically to replace ladders, and they're not really meant for just kind of boosting around the map and getting around in general. They're just kind of like a thing that you use instead of ladders, because they said ladders are too slow and they interrupt the flow too much. So that is kind of like how the boost jumps are supposed to work. Of course, we're going to get a greater idea when it's more playable, when we get gameplay footage of Black Ops 3 multiplayer. Another quick thing is that there's no Dolphin dive. That's completely gone from the game. Essentially, it wasn't really functional, and we now have a similar kind of boost slide to Advanced Warfare. Of course, it's more functional. The Dolphin dive was funny, and it was kind of like the only good kind of use it has were for, say, jumping on a flag last second, or like jumping into a building, but it really had no use at all. The slide is a much better feature and actually works, so it does suck to see the Dolphin dive gone. It was like an iconic thing of Tryout games, but unfortunately that is how it goes. It is now replaced with a slide. Of course, there's also wall running on top of that, and it isn't as much of a like prevalent thing in Black Ops 3. It's just kind of like a thing that you can do on a few maps. There might be like 1 or 2 surfaces where it's like, oh, you can go and wall jump on that. It's not just like every single map. The key thing you're supposed to be doing is running on walls. You can only run on walls for a very short amount of time. There's like a curve where you eventually fall down and like fall off the wall, so it's not like an infinite thing. You won't see everyone just constantly running on walls. It's very kind of like a small thing that's just kind of like a cool little feature you can do if you want to, but it's not at all essential to the game. And another thing I want to talk about is the specialist characters. There are 9 in total in the final game. We know 4 were playable. We know about 4 so far. In a multiplayer, you essentially pick one of these characters to rank up and progress. They each have their own voice actors and unique features, and you have a power bar on the bottom of your screen that builds up over time, and kills an objective plate build that bar up. Every few minutes you get to use this power, and each character has 2 things you can use, either a power weapon or a power ability. These are the 2 most important things you need to understand: power weapon or power ability. ability, and you can have one select at a time, so you basically pick a weapon or an ability. Of course, a weapon is more offensive, more like an attack, and ability is more like a super perk that makes you a better soldier. So the first character we're going to talk about is Ruin. As you can see right here, this is Ruin, what he looks like, and he has these robotic arms, which is also pretty cool, and his power weapon is these gravity hammers, which you can see right here. He performs a smash, which deals a shockwave area of effect, or his ability is called Overdrive, which gives you a burst of speed. We've got Seraph. Her weapon is a revolver called an Annihilator, which I believe has 6 shots, and they're all one-shot kill bullets, or her ability is called Combat Focus, which is basically like Hardline. You get extra score for a short amount of time, which builds up your score streaks. And then there's Outrider, who you can see right here. Her weapon is an explosive crossbow, and this deals massive damage. It basically disintegrates the player, as you can see here, just completely destroys their body, and then that bolt will keep on going and then explode again after it kind of hits the body. So if you hit someone with it, you're going to get a kill, and then again that bolt will still explode. And her ability instead is called a Vision Pulse, which lets you see enemies which are close to you throughout walls, which is kind of like a ping ability, allows you to see people close to you, and again you can use that for a short amount of time. And then finally, the fourth character we know about is called Reaper, and he is actually a robot, fully robotic character, and his weapon is his arm, which turns into a minigun, as you can see right here, or his ability is called Glitch, which allows you to go back 3 seconds if you're being shot at to perhaps behind the enemy who's shooting at you before he kills you. And so that's basically like a go back in time feature. And it's important to note there's a lot of confusion around this. A lot of people are describing it as a death streak, but this cannot be activated after death. You can't just be shot and killed and then you just come back to life and just appear behind the guy. You can only, once you're being shot at, go back 3 seconds. So it's not like a death streak where you just like once you're killed you come back to life and you just are behind the enemy. That's not how it works. It's only if you're being shot at and you're still alive you can then go back 3 seconds. So those are 4 characters we know of, and there are 5 more we don't know anything about. I honestly cannot wait to learn more about these 5 other characters. Leave your comments below with any ideas of characters and what powers you think they might have. I can definitely predict a character that's based around melee attacks, a close quarters combat type, maybe like a ninja with like robotic arms that transform into like dual swords, and you basically go around like a samurai just like slashing people up. I can definitely imagine some sort of close quarters character which is based around melee attacks with swords, or maybe a similar type weapon. But leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd love to read your thoughts on kind of your ideas of what characters and powers you could possibly think of. And but hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a like rating, subscribe for future videos on this channel, and also follow me on Twitter in the description for the latest Black Ops 3 updates. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.